The quote that is oh so often associated with the empath is it's such a blessing and a curse to feel the emotional pains of others so deeply. And when I was developing myself as an empath, I remember feeling this way. I remember feeling like I was so susceptible to all the emotional pains and struggles of everybody else around me. And I also remember feeling like I just wanted everybody to endure through their struggles. I just wanted everybody to face their own truth and to love themselves enough to heal. And I remember telling, I actually said this to several people. I adopted this quote, where I would just say to people, I want you, to love yourself the way that I love you. And I want you to see yourself the way that I see you. And, was that true? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I always look for the good in people. I always see, beyond the facade of everybody. And that's very typical of empaths. But what happens is, as empaths, we feel cursed by this incessant need to sacrifice ourselves to heal others. And, I've come to understand that this is purely a victim mentality. This is us unwilling or unaware of our own need to focus inward, of our own need to face our own truth, of our own need to focus on our own self-healing and addressing the deep, deep, deep emotional wounds that we have within us because of what we've experienced in our own life and because of, some of the experiences that we feel just by being in the presence of others or existing on this earth. We're interconnected very deeply with everybody else, and part of our empathic abilities and our compassion is to feel the suffering of others around us. But what happens with empaths that are unhealed is they wind up playing this fixer role. They wind up playing this, this savior. I feel like I have to save everybody. I feel like I just want to love everybody until they learn to love themselves. And although this is very honorable, anything that we think of doing sacrificially, we think of being noble and selfless. But truly, in this case with the empath, because we feel cursed by it, we're actually just allowing ourselves to stay a victim of our gifts, and it causes a lot of distress. It causes a lot of confusion. It causes a lot of imbalance within us because we don't understand our gift, and we haven't taken the proactive steps that we need and focused our efforts on understanding ourselves, healing ourselves, and then empowering ourselves as empaths and as healers. So I guess I'm trying to think here. When it comes to being an empath, and when you're starting to become aware of yourselves, you can look probably in your history and you'll see, a slew of emotional, physical, sexual, spiritual, and mental abuse, abusive relationships, abusive situations, a lot of self-destructive behaviors, and a lot of caring for people that don't love themselves. And we think that we are helping other people by helping them. and to a degree we are, because there is something to be said about, healing others helps us heal ourselves. But the problem with an awakening empath believing that they are cursed, that tells me that there's still healing to be done within. And what happens is, we attract into our world that which we need to see so that we can break open and bring into awareness what our own inner struggles are. And when we are in this victim mentality, we draw to us people that are emotionally numb very often. We draw towards us very low vibing beings that are struggling to evolve their own self, that are struggling to love themselves, that have insecurities that need to be brought to the surface so that they can address them, that have deep, deep, deep inner wounds that need to be focused on so that they can heal them and release them and endure through them and evolve past them. And when we spend so much time focusing on everybody else, we neglect ourselves. And what happens is these people that we're working with, they often wind up healing and, enduring through their struggles, and then evolving past us. And then, or, if depending on the degree of the low viber that we're working with, a lot of times they, take from us until there's nothing left of us. And then they move on, but again, everybody's still, they're moving on, and we feel even more worthless. We feel even more, unloved, even more misunderstood, even more alone. And we begin to believe that, nobody can love us or love in the way that we can. And we don't understand why people so often leave us, when we think of ourselves as these wonderful, wonderfully caring, beings, these very compassionate, gentle, kind, and genuine intentioned beings. And the reason why we stay in this victimizing state is, again, we are not addressing ourselves first. And that's the empath purpose. The empath purpose is to break free of your victim mentality. It's to focus, to learn how to focus inward, to learn how to love yourself. And only until, only once you have faced your own truth and addressed your own emotional traumas, and started addressing these wounds, until some of these wounds have healed, you can't really help others, because it's all a projection, and it's sacrificial, but it's not selfless. When you're helping somebody else so that they thank you, when you're helping somebody else so that, they love you in return, when you're helping somebody else for their loyalty, or for them to look at you and say, good job, when you're looking to anybody else to validate you, it's a codependency. It's not a selfless act. It may be sacrificial, but it's definitely not selfless. So anyway, when empaths say to me, oh, it's a blessing and a curse, that signifies to me that they may not understand that the reason why they feel cursed is because empaths have a strength of vulnerability. So what this means is that our strength is being able to sense and understand and expose the most vulnerable parts of us to others. And that is meant to be healing for others, because we're supposed to, resemble a strength that this world doesn't have right now. We're supposed to honor our emotional strength, our emotional intelligence, and project that out onto the world, so that others can see that as a strength and have the courage to expose themselves emotionally and be, strong in their vulnerability. But empaths have this profound resilience. They have this amazing ability to endure through pain emotionally, through emotional pain. They have this profound ability to continue forward and to keep striving, for something better, to come through in this world. We have such a faith in hope, and we want to believe in the good of this earth and the people in it so so purely that we just have this profound resilience to continue to move forward, even when we are emotionally suffering. And our vulnerability, actually, which is our blessing, is protected by our resilience. And this resilience is actually, it actually creates an emotional numbing to us. And this emotional numbing, it's interesting because, again, we're out there trying to show the world that it's okay to expose yourself vulnerably, and it's okay to feel. But we ourselves are protected by a resilience that numbs our own emotional pains. So yes, we can go out there and we can fight the good fight for others, but we become numb to our own emotional suffering. And it's something that needs to be worked on, and we need to be incredibly aware of it, because as an empath, you're feeling the emotional numbness of others, and you're so incessantly, trying to help others work through that we often don't realize that the reason why we're like fighting so hard to get others to expose their to feel their emotional numbing is because the universe is trying to put people in front of us to say, hey, you are emotionally numb as well. You might have an incredibly high emotional intelligence, but that does not mean that you are actually feeling your emotions and healing them. Because everybody, the empath way is if you can feel it, you can heal it. So, we as empaths, we feel cursed by this need to heal others, but actually this need is our intuitive knowing that healing needs to occur, but we focus in on others and instead of ourselves. So when you feel cursed because you feel the suffering of others, as an empath, that is not the way that it's supposed to be. Empaths are supposed to feel empowered by their emotional intelligence. They're supposed to feel empowered by their ability to feel. So if you are feeling cursed and burdened by it, what that should indicate to you is that you have emotionally numbed a lot of your traumas, a lot of your pains, a lot of your suffering, a lot of your ideals are not in balance. You're not connecting to your true self. You're not, trusting in your own ability to heal yourself. Because you're focusing on others. So it's paradoxical, but this is the victim mentality that empaths keep. They think, I am cursed by this emotional ability to feel others' pain. But the truth is that the curse is your own inability to face your own emotional pains. Not that you feel the emotional pains of others. So your clairsentience is designed to help you to process and guide other people's, to guide others to addressing their own emotional pains. And we don't have anybody that's doing that for us. So I am encouraging you to break free of this victim mentality, to take responsibility for your own self-healing, to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself if you are really healed or if you are healing others because you so desperately want to project onto them this, this belief system that anybody can heal, in a hope that you will not only save them, but you will also, they will in return save you. And if that's not happening, it's not fair to use your empathic abilities, your empath being as an excuse to feel burdened by the emotional pains that are within you that you have just numbed. So I hope that this clarifies a little bit. It's a very, very complex comprehension, but essentially if you feel cursed as an empath, that is a victim mentality that is going to keep you in a low vibing state and is going to continue to bring people into your life that you're going to sacrificially try to heal and continue to feel worse and worse about yourself, and to continue to vibe in that low state, and seek out others to heal, to heal you through your giving of yourself sacrificially to them. And I promise you, it never, ever works out. As an empath, the most important thing that you can do, the most important person that you can heal in your lifetime will be yourself. And only then can you truly, in your most fully empowered state, serve your purpose and heal, the rest of this world one person at a time, not by saving them, but by being an example of somebody that endured through saving themselves, loving themselves, shifting their own mindset, and becoming the change in the world that they wanted to see. And you will become a role model, a representation of emotional courage, emotional strength. Okay. If you guys have questions, or you're a little bit confused by this, or you want more information, feel free to comment below and I will do my best. Or you can always email me, empathrising731@gmail.com. Also find me on, I have a Facebook group called Empaths Be Like, and also join me on Instagram, Empaths and HSP. Thanks a lot. Bye.